Red Death. The Red Death was a twisted version of Batman from Earth -52, born out of Bruce Wayne's deepest fears and ultimate desperation. In his world, Bruce once fought crime alongside his loyal Robins, but as the years passed, they all fell in battle, leaving him shattered. Their deaths drove him to abandon his principles, pushing him to adopt brutal and extreme methods. When Earth -52 rocked on the edge of destruction, Bruce became desperate. He turned to his universe's Flash, begging for the Speed Force powers to save their world. But Flash refused. Fueled by grief and rage, Bruce used stolen weapons from the Rogues, knocked Flash unconscious, and chained him to the Batmobile. He drove them both into the Speed Force, with the vehicle modified using the Cosmic Treadmill. The collision fused them into one being. Bruce gained Flash's speed and a dark connection to the Speed Force, while Barry's consciousness was trapped within him. Not only this, Bruce even slaughtered his Rogues Gallery as the Red Death, ignoring Barry's pleas to stop. Yet despite his newfound power, he failed to save his collapsing world. In his despair, he was approached by the Batman Who Laughs, who promised salvation by joining Barbados' Dark Knights and falling the multiverse into darkness. Desperate for a purpose, Bruce accepted, becoming the Red Death. After arriving in the Central Multiverse, Red Death unleashed chaos, creating a Speed Force storm in Central City, which aged people to death in seconds. He even targeted Barry Allen's loved ones, but was stopped by the Flash. Later, during the Justice League's hunt for Nth Metal, Flash was trapped in Red Death's Batcave, a death trap filled with Flashmobiles and countermeasures against speedsters. Despite the odds, Barry managed to escape. Red Death's downfall came when a positive energy hit him, altering his appearance and allowing Barry Allen of Earth -52 to regain control of their shared body. Overcome with guilt for Bruce's actions, Barry joined Prime Earth's Flash to fight the Dark Knights. However, the Batman Who Laughs revealed they had anticipated Red Death's betrayal. The positive energy within him was a death sentence, causing him to explode in a brilliant flash of light, ending his torment. Well, the Red Death embodied Bruce's darkest fear, losing his family and failing to save those he loved, becoming a twisted nightmare of speed and despair. The Merciless. The Merciless was a fearsome, fully corrupted version of Bruce Wayne, a Batman who had lost everything, including his soul. Born from Earth -12, this Bruce gained the powers of Ares, the Greek god of war, after wearing the War God's helmet, a cursed artifact that amplified power 100-fold, but came with a greedy hunger for battle. Once a warrior of justice, Bruce became a god of war, ruthless and unstoppable, abandoning mercy in favor of absolute victory. It began when Ares freed a devastating war, creating a helmet to support his strength. For 2 years, Bruce and Wonder Woman fought side by side to end his reign of terror, bound by their mission and love. Together, they finally tore the helmet from Ares, but the battle turned grim when Diana was struck down. Believing she was dead, Bruce was consumed by grief and rage. Ignoring Diana's warnings about the helmet's corruption, he put it on, thinking he could wield its power justly. Then the power overwhelmed him. Bruce killed Ares, but became something far worse, a merciless warrior who saw his old values as childish. When Diana revealed she had survived, she tried to save him, but Bruce, now fully consumed by the helmet's influence, chose power over love and killed her. From there, his rampage began. First, he destroyed villains, then he slaughtered heroes who tried to stop him. He waged war on the world, and soon, no one was left to stand against him. Bruce's conquest extended to Olympus, where he defeated the gods themselves and claimed their domains. The Amazons fell next, their souls bound to a massive golden drachma molded from their afterlife's coins. Bruce used this relic to summon an army of restless spirits to do his bidding, cementing his dominion over all. While his world crumbled into the dark multiverse, Bruce was approached by the Batman Who Laughs, who offered him a place among the Dark Knights, a team of twisted Batmen bent on spreading darkness across the multiverse. Bruce joined eagerly, ready to prove his way was the only way. The Merciless reflected Bruce's darkest fears, what he might become if he embraced killing, abandoned mercy, and let his desire for power completely consume him. His strength was limitless, his morality gone, and his war unending. Flashpoint Batman. Thomas Wayne, the Batman of the Flashpoint timeline, was a merciless vigilante born from unimaginable tragedy. His transformation began the night he, his wife Martha, and son Bruce exited a movie theater. When a mugger named Joe Chill attacked, Thomas fought back, but the bullet meant for him struck Bruce, killing the boy. Consumed by grief, Thomas tracked Chill and beat him to death with his bare hands. Martha, shattered by Bruce's death, carved a horrific smile into her face and descended into madness, becoming this dark timeline's Joker, Thomas's revenge turned him into Batman, a cruel enforcer of justice feared across Gotham. Unlike his son in the original timeline, Thomas executed criminals without hesitation. His Wayne casinos funded his crusade, and he collaborated closely with Chief Jim Gordon and Oswald Cobblepot, head of casino security. For a time, he softened, mentoring a young thief named Catwoman, but her tragic fate at Martha's hands reignited his brutal ways. When Barry Allen, the Flash, arrives in Thomas's world, seeking to restore the original timeline, Thomas is initially skeptical, but mentioning his son's life in another reality convinced him to help. Together, they recreated the accident that gave Barry his speed and assembled a team to undo the catastrophic changes to the timeline. Thomas fought fiercely, even delivering a fatal blow to the Reverse Flash. Wounded, he entrusted Barry with a letter for Bruce before sacrificing himself to ensure the timeline was fixed. But fate had other plans. Saved by the Reverse Flash, Thomas found himself in a multiversal web of conflicts. Aligning with and later betraying Bane, Thomas sought to break Bruce's resolve, urging him to abandon the cowl and find happiness. His efforts failed, and Thomas suffered at the hands of both Bruce and Bane. Later, he joined Justice Incarnate, battling threats that spanned realities, including Darkseid and the Great Darkness. Overall, Thomas was a man of contradictions, brilliant in combat, strategy, and medicine, yet defined by his determined pain. His abilities included mastery in martial arts, interrogation, and wielding toxins. Despite his brutal methods, his love for his son endured. Ultimately, he embraced his dark destiny, shaping a fractured legacy across the multiverse. Zur-En-Arrh Batman, Zur-En-Arrh, wasn't just a planet or a name. It was a hidden part of Batman himself, a wild, unpredictable side waiting in the shadows. It all began with Tlano, an alien scientist who idolized Batman and became his planet's version of the Dark Knight. Tlano's world was full of strange energy that gave Batman Superman-like powers, letting the two Batmen team up to battle giant invading robots. After their victory, Tlano handed over the Batradia, a gadget that scrambled enemy tech, before sending Bruce back to Earth. But on Earth, Zur-En-Arrh meant something entirely different. It wasn't just a phrase, it was a personality. Years ago, Bruce's mind was unknowingly wired with a trigger by Dr. Simon Hurt during a psychological experiment. If Bruce's psyche ever shattered, the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh would awaken a relentless, brutal version of Batman, stripped of Bruce Wayne's restraint. Think of it as Batman at his rawest, unfiltered, unyielding, and liberated. When Dr. Hurt and the Black Glove came after Bruce, they activated this hidden side. Lost in a haze, Bruce stumbled through Gotham, wearing a makeshift colorful costume that was a shocking contrast to his usual dark attire. The Batman of Zur-En-Arrh wasn't about stealth or refinement, he was about survival. With his trusty Batradia, he jammed systems, hacked Arkham's defenses, and proved his unpredictability was his greatest weapon. Even Batmite, a figment of Bruce's imagination, appeared to keep him somewhat grounded, stopping him from losing control completely. This side of Batman wasn't just an artifact of trauma, it was a fail-safe, a backup personality designed by Bruce himself to keep fighting no matter what. This version resurfaced in later battles, like when Bruce faced Failsafe, a deadly robot he had built to stop himself if he ever went rogue. Across the multiverse, every Batman carried their version of Zur-En-Arrh, proving it was as much a part of the legend as the bat signal or the cowl. The showy costume, the insane edge. It wasn't just style, it was survival, whether battling robots on alien planets or tearing through Gotham's darkest nights. The Batman of Zur-En-Arrh proved that even Batman's limits had no limits. Owlman, also known as Thomas Wayne Jr., was a terrifying force of nature on Earth 3. Born into tragedy and molded by justice, he became Batman's dark reflection. In this twisted world, Bruce Wayne, the younger brother he might have loved, was murdered alongside their mother, leaving Thomas Jr. to escape into the shadows with Joe Chill, a criminal he came to idolize. That escape marked the birth of Owlman, Gotham's cruel ruler and the mastermind behind countless horrors. Where Batman fought for avengement, Owlman thrived in chaos. His mind, sharpened by drugs that heightened his intellect, made him a brilliant but unforgiving strategist. He wielded a utility belt packed with advanced gadgets, each deadlier than the last. With night vision and gadgets for flight, he didn't just stalk his enemies, he hunted them. His partnership with Boss Gordon, a crime lord as corrupt as the city he controlled, cemented Owlman as Gotham's ultimate predator. Owlman's brilliance made him the brains of the crime syndicate of America, a team of Earth 3's greatest villains. His strategies often clashed with Ultraman's brute force leadership. Owlman believed in letting rebellion simmer, creating an endless cycle of conflict that kept his enemies close. This philosophy wasn't just calculated, it was merciless. He even directed opposition to the syndicate, ensuring his genius was always needed. Yet his twisted ambitions didn't stop there. Owlman carried on a secret affair with Superwoman, Ultraman's partner, using their dangerous liaison to manipulate his rival. But beneath the schemes and cruelty, there was something hauntingly human. Owlman's life was driven by a deep hatred for his father, Thomas Wayne Sr., who had become Gotham's commissioner, fighting against corruption. Their deadly rivalry burned with unresolved pain. During a rare visit to the main DC universe, Owlman stood before his family's graves and, for once, showed raw sorrow. It was a fleeting glimpse of the broken man beneath the monster. With his sidekick, Talon, a twisted version of Robin, at his side, Owlman's reign continued. Whether in comics, animated series, or video games, Owlman remains a dark mirror to Batman, a chilling reminder of what could be if the Bat's resolve ever crumbled. The Devastator. The Devastator was a dark and fearsome version of Bruce Wayne, born from one of Batman's deepest fears, a Superman who turned bad. On Earth -1, Batman's worst nightmare became a reality when Superman, for reasons unknown, killed Lois Lane and unleashed chaos on the world. Desperate for answers, Batman tried to save his friend, but the time for reason quickly ran out, forcing him into a brutal fight against the Man of Steel himself. With nothing left to rely on but a kryptonite-tipped spear, Bruce faced his strongest foe. Superman mocked him, even severing his arm, but Batman wasn't finished. The spear had been a distraction all along. His true weapon was a modified Doomsday virus. Injecting himself with it, Bruce transformed into a monstrous creature, a fusion of Batman's mind and Doomsday's unstoppable power. Regenerating his lost arm, he crushed Superman, driving a spike through his chest and ending the fight once and for all. Victory, however, came at a terrible cost. The virus began to spread uncontrollably, turning the people of Earth -1 into rampaging Doomsday-like monsters. With his world spiraling into destruction, Bruce was approached by the Batman who laughs, who offered him a gloomy purpose among the Dark Knights. Accepting his fate, Bruce became the Devastator, a harbinger of doom in service to Barbados, tasked with plunging the DC multiverse into darkness. When summoned to Earth Zero, the Devastator unleashed terror upon Metropolis. He used Lois Lane as a carrier for the Doomsday virus, infecting the Superman family and spreading chaos. At the Fortress of Solitude, he battled heroes like Steel, Firestorm, and even Lobo, leaving a trail of destruction in his wake. Yet his plans were ultimately thwarted when Superman, clad in Element X armor, defeated him in Gotham. Summing up, the Devastator was more than just brute strength. He symbolized broken trust, embodying Bruce's fears of betrayal and the destruction it could cause. His powers were devastating, bone spikes capable of tearing through Kryptonians, kryptonite breath that could kill instantly, and the horrifying ability to spread the Doomsday virus with a touch. Despite his monstrous form, his mind remained sharp, a grim reminder of the genius that once called itself Batman. The Batman who laughs. The Joker of Earth 22 was a threatening and twisted force from the dark multiverse, an alternate reality destined for destruction. His story mirrored the Joker we know, an ordinary man broken by one catastrophic day, transformed by chemicals that turned his skin pale, his hair green, and his mind into a chaotic storm. But this Joker's tale wasn't just about madness, it was about the unthinkable, pushing Batman to his absolute breaking point. Just as his end approached, the Joker discovered two things: his imminent death from the chemicals coursing through his veins, and Batman's secret identity. Facing the inevitable, he launched a horrifying plan to leave a legacy of destruction. He released havoc in Gotham, killing Batman's entire rogues gallery, wiping out the Gotham City Police Department, and dissolving Commissioner Gordon in acid. When Batman confronted him, the Joker paralyzed him with a toxin, forcing the Dark Knight to witness the chaos. The Joker's cruelty knew no bounds. He dragged Batman to a dark alley, strangely familiar of the one where Bruce's parents died, and murdered a couple in front of their daughter, infecting her with Joker venom. He revealed his true horror. Countless orphan children had already turned into Jokerized monstrosities, ready to spread chaos in his name. This was the final straw. Overwhelmed with rage and grief, Batman broke free and killed the Joker, snapping his neck in a moment of raw fury. But even in death, the Joker had the last laugh. His body released a toxin that infected Batman, warping his mind into something unrecognizable. unbreakable. Bruce became the Batman who laughs, a monstrous fusion of Batman's intellect and the Joker's madness. He killed innocents, annihilated his world, and led the Dark Robins, the Jokerized children, to wreak havoc across the multiverse. As Barbados' second in command, he became one of the most terrifying threats ever known. Above all, this Joker achieved what no other could, breaking the unbreakable Batman and turning him into a nightmare. His actions, though brief, rippled across the multiverse, showing that even in death, his chaos would reign supreme. His story is a haunting reminder of how far madness can push even the strongest hero. Final Bruce Wayne from the Dark Multiverse, became something far beyond human, an unstoppable force known as Batmanhattan. His journey started when he discovered the Comedian's Button, an artifact radiating mysterious, powerful energy. Driven by his endless curiosity, Bruce attempted to replicate that energy using an intrinsic field generator. But as he stepped into the machine to investigate a malfunction, the Batman who laughs, ever the schemer, sealed the door and activated it. Bruce's body disintegrated in an instant, scattered across existence. Yet he refused to let death claim him. He reassembled himself over months, molecule by molecule, emerging with godlike powers akin to Dr. Manhattan's. Before he could fully comprehend his transformation, the Batman who laughs struck. Using an energy blade, he lobotomized Bruce, leaving him disoriented and bound to his will. The once brilliant mind of Bruce Wayne was trapped, reduced to a weapon the laughs could wield in his dark crusades. For a time, Bruce's existence was hidden, a secret alternative. When laughs aligned with Perpetua to reshape reality, Batmanhattan was revealed to the Dark Knights. His immense power, a terrifying trump card. After Wonder Woman defeated laughs, the Dark Knights executed a wicked plan. They replaced Bruce's mind with that of the Batman who laughs, creating a being with near unlimited power and unthinkable cruelty. No doubt Batmanhattan's abilities were godlike. He could rebuild himself from nothing, reshape matter, and disintegrate enemies in a blink. His mind saw the multiverse's threads and everything that was or could be. Time was meaningless to him. He could manipulate his form, move incredibly quickly, and even plant thoughts in others' minds. Yet his lobotomized state left him vulnerable, an unwilling puppet locked in a perpetual grin, doing only what others commanded. Marked with the hydrogen atom symbol on his forehead, Batmanhattan's existence mocked the original Dr. Manhattan's legacy. A fusion of intellect and raw cosmic power, Bruce became the ultimate amalgamation, a corrupted echo of the man he once was and the god he could have been. At last, he stood as a dismal testament to the endless tragedies of the Dark Multiverse. A mind shattered, a soul bound, and power twisted into an instrument of destruction. Is Batmanhattan a true cosmic force, or just a puppet of the Batman who laughs? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing content.